Your Excellency. The agenda one is concerning the jurisdiction of ICC, and as per that, in response to the question whether there are reasonable grounds to believe that the case against President Hassan falls under the jurisdiction of ICC pursuant to Rome Statute, Article 19. First of all, I would like to take you to the chronological order of the facts. Your Excellency, you might see that Azure is a peaceful state, and Anatolia is a peaceful state, and Anatolia is a peaceful state, and although Azure was under the jurisdiction of Anatolia, but Anatolia surrendered its sovereignty over Azure Island and signed Azure Peace Agreement, giving Azure a special status. Secondly, as it is stated in facts that Serbistan Liberation Front attacked military bases of Anatolia that caused casualty of 3 and injury of 8 militants. As per the United Nations General Assembly Resolution 49/60, terrorism is defined as criminal acts intended or calculated to provoke a state of terror in general public, a group of persons, particular persons for political purpose, and or in any circumstances unjustifiable, whatever the consideration of a political, philosophical, ideological, racial, or ethical. Article 51 of the United Nations Charter says that a state has the right to inherit self-defense for its sovereignty under imminent threat. So as we look towards the facts, we see that it was SLF who initiated the attack, and it attacked the military bases of Anatolia. To the action of Naval Admiral Anatolia is justified as their territory was endangered by the militants.
Council, but as per the facts, you do agree that there was a bilateral agreement for Azure, right?
Azure Peace Agreement, just with
So
1970.
when there was a bilateral agreement wherein an independent status was given to Azure, why did the president or Anatolia as a whole lay its stringent measures over the area, over the disputed area?
Pardon, Your Excellency, but Azure, Anatolia has not had not stringent measures related to Azure. It was on SLF military. SLF, there was Serbistan Liberation Front, who were demanding independence and attacking the civil and militants of Anatolia.
Right. You can move on.
Yeah. Article 5 of Rome Statute describes the jurisdiction of ICC, that ICC shall be limited to most serious crimes of concern to the international community as a whole, such as war crime, genocide. But we see that the act of SLF was a terrorist attack, and to condemn that attack, on 4th of March, President Hassan initiated an Operation Iron Shield, and after that we also see the statements of President Hassan that basically centralizes on how we can protect our sovereignty and our social life of our citizens. Agenda number 2, admissibility of the case. For this, I would seek the permission of Your Excellencies to present you the case law of Al-Gaddafi. We see the judgment of Al-Gaddafi, page number. That is highlighted in your documents. On 2nd April 2013, the Libyan authorities filed another challenge to admissibility of the case with regard to Abdullah al-Senosi, the companion of al-Gaddafi. On 11th October, the pre-trial chamber decided that the case against Abdullah al-Senosi was inadmissible before the ICC, as it was currently subjected to domestic proceedings conducted by Libyan competent authorities, and the Libya willing and able genuinely to carry out such investigation. So we do not find in facts that Antolia was not agreeing or was not able to proceed the judicial remands on President IC. In this way, the case became inadmissible in front of the ICC.
Councilman, how do you define how the prosecution has satisfied the court with Section 17 of the Rome Statute? So, what would be your argument or defense on that?
My argument would be Article 17A, and that says that if the country is willing to, if the country is not willing to proceed the judicial procedure towards the criminal, so he would ICC will not be accountable for this. But if we see that Antolia has an independent judiciary and independent system, Antolia has an independent system, so that's why they are just it becomes inadmissible in front of ICC.
So
Article 17A.
basically with this argument, you're saying that although he should be tried, the president should be tried, but should not be tried before ICC. He should be tried in some other jurisdiction.
I see that the international law says if the country is able to try the president or anybody who is criminal, then it becomes national matter, not an international matter. As we see in the Al-Yusuf Qaddafi case, that because the
But the
Libyan
prosecution does not have any trust in your national courts. That's the reason why they've approached the ICC bench.
pardon my excellency, my knowledge is not as too much. It is not written in facts that prosecution has said that they have no interest. They have no trust.
No, assumably, if I have to assume, obviously, if the prosecution has come before the ICC, that technically means that they must not have any interest or any trust based in your national courts. Why that is not a fact of the case, as assumable because of the matters presented before us. We believe, as a judge, as a judge of the ICC, I do believe that there may be a chance that the prosecution thinks that your courts, your national courts, will not be providing that much of a security or that much of a fair trial for them.
First of all, it was not a criminal act. It was to protect the sovereignty of Antolia. Secondly, it is there is no case law or there is no proof that Antolia's judiciary is corrupt or anything that they cannot proceed the case in a right manner. Shall I proceed further? I would like my co-counsel to describe the agenda. Thank you.